Hello. What is going on? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm looking directly at my monitor in the new setup. Again, we're trying to get used to things here, but dark mode is enabled for this one. It's a lot better than having the light background. And personally, I've got a bit more room to work with here. Obviously, it's a little bit more echoey, and I'm personally really needing a drink. So let me just pop one open. So today we are covering BDS and Golden Guardians. We're gonna be heading into this best of 5. The first best of 5 technically of Worlds, even though it's not classed as Worlds, it's a qualifying series for it. This one surprises me because I woke up at 7, the series had already happened in full, because it's happening at dumb hours, because Korea. Even though previous ones in Korea have actually started at decent times, this one not so much, so gotta get accustomed to that. Now, going into draft for this one, we're going in on a new patch for Worlds. I believe it's the Worlds patch. And personally, really looking forward to how this plays out. Because as a whole, these two teams have been on the same sort of trajectory. If you think about how they played in spring, they both finished 2nd. You think how they finished in playoffs, they both finished 4th, hence why they're here. They've got the same sort of pathing as, this is not the game I want to analyze. I'm gonna do this one. Good job, me. Thanks, me. We get into game number 1. I'm looking forward to this. I've not really watched the entire series yet. I haven't had a chance to, but from what I know, it's very dominant. So draft-wise, game 1, you tend to think, well, it's the first game of Worlds. You're going to see a lot of comfort for both teams. You're going to see some sort of default picks that you go towards. And already, Golden Guardians removing the Olaf, the Xayah, and the Poppy. So they've removed safety in the Xayah and the Poppy. Also, I'm surprised they're the ones removing the Poppy. It's something Licorice has gone defaulting towards. But on the side of BDS, removing the Rel, the Draven, and the Rumble, there's some comfort there. Obviously, you're kind of forcing Licorice into a less carry-heavy position, and more so a tank. But looking at how things have gone so far, Talia locked in for Golden Guardians. You've got a lot of options there. It's a flex pick. You saw it fall off kind of going into playoffs, but we saw it quite a bit during the regular LEC season. The roam potential is very huge for her, as River's highlighting a lot of the add-on pool, as it's called. Finally locks in Cassante. As for BDS, they've locked in a Renekton and an Orianna. A good combo overall with and a Yone coming through. But Renekton Orianna has a good combination because Renekton's ability to slice and dice through, and the fact that there's no steadfast presence he has to deal with due to the Poppy being banned, you've got an easy ball carrying device for BDS, and I think they're probably going to look to use a comp that's very heavy on dive, and I think that's due to how Golden Guardians are banned. The fact that you've removed the safety in Xayah, so your ADC is more than likely going to get jumped on, and you've also got for yourself you've also got yourself... Why am I dropping frames is a real question. Give me a minute. I'm just gonna quickly... Oh, wait, I should probably stop that. Give me a second. I'm just gonna up my output. Hopefully, this fixes the issue. There. If not, I apologize, but we've been dropping frames for a while. Weird. Anyway, that should fix the issue. So, let's look at it. It seems rather unique, the Golden Guardians draft, all things considered. But BDS have a very stock standard dive comp versus a lot of weirdness with this Golden Guardians. Because Yone is a flex, so is Cassante, and I guess technically the Talia is. So there's a lot of question marks on this Golden Guardians draft. The Talia can be flexed to mid and jungle. You can then flex Cassante across all three positions, I guess. I'm not too heavily sure if River can play at jungle, but that's a thing that I have seen before. You've also then got the Yone, who apparently is a jungle flex. I think I've seen jungle Yone before, though not in pro play. It seems like a more solo QS thing. Anyway, ban phase 2 is where we are at. Lee Sin, Ezreal, Kalista, Nautilus banned from either side. A lot of bot lane bans. Naut removed, which means that Rakan comes through. I think Leona has to come through here for your Golden Guardians, or a stock standard counter pick, Lissandra maybe, but Amumu is going back to a default pick. It's not something you tend to see recently, and on this patch I'm not entirely sure if it has the same sort of strength that it used to have. I definitely don't think it does. But Golden Guardians rounding out their draft with this sort of dive-esque application, because you can go in with the Mumu, use it as a sad mummy to root a lot of targets, and essentially with that you can then use the Yone ult into Killer Instinct from Kaiser. You've got a lot of dive and cutoff on your own with this Golden Guardians comp, and they definitely want to set up first around objectives. However, BDS, they can do well in going in for plays as well, you think about it. They've got the Maokai ult with Nature's Grasp, able to, like, control areas as you push forward. You've got then the Rakan to dive in, charm up targets, and kind of group them together for the Orianna and Renekton combination. You've also got another ball carrying target in the Rakan there. So Ori has a lot of options to get the ball in, and then delete people's health bars with the Shockwave. Last pick we haven't talked about yet is the Sivir. It's a good pick overall, it's safe. And of the ADCs that are available, it's probably the safest. You've got the Black Shield or the Magic Shield, whatever it's called, I don't remember. But basically, you deny an ability, so more than likely you're going to be denying the insta-Q from the Amumu. And then you probably have Cleanse as your secondary spell, so you can burn that on the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Essentially, it makes it a lot harder for Golden Guardians to get on top of you. And as a whole, it makes it so that you're not as susceptible to the dive that this Golden Guardians lineup want to go for. Now, compare that to how the Kaiser is. The option she has for escape is obviously use a Killer Instinct, get the shield, dodge sideways, is her options for safety. But if BDS get on top of you, you are forced to more than likely burn Cleanse if you are Stixxay on that Kaiser. And personally, and this is a huge personally, I think that BDS drafting a lot more comfort and a lot more sort of scaling comparative to Golden Guardians will be the more important thing for this game. Now, looking at the starts and the ruins, finally get to see Keystones. First strike Talia surprises me a little bit. Versus Phase Rush and Maokai. Lends me to believe that Maokai obviously wants to be chasing down targets and setting up plays, but that's just me. Look at the starts. It's a Raptor start for the red side and a red buff start for Golden Guardians. Maokai's start was spotted on ward comparative to the actual Talia start, and in fact, looking at the wards, Talia had a vision ward to protect her Raptors and also a ward on the enemy Raptors. So technically the start could be obviously spotted because Maokai's in theory could go for a sapling toss over the wall here just to secure some vision. But granted, you usually start Q on Maokai just so because the Bramble Smash is very, very powerful in terms of controlling how you want to play the game. But starts looking very standard. They're both meeting each other on the top half of the map, and Maokai, early gank possibilities here. Trying to get Gory to step way too far forward, and he's walking towards him. Xiao flashes in, twisted advance into Bramble Smash. First blood, guaranteed once you use the easy kill for BDS there. That seemed pretty bad. The reason I think I want to talk about this first blood is because the fact that BDS warded Raptors saw Maokai started top side. You knew he was up there. And you still, I guess, played towards your top half of the map knowing that your Talia has roamed over. But this is a thing mid laners should know, and it's their jungler's clear time. Maokai quite slow now, comparative to old days, but and compared to Talia. So chances are, he's probably still top half of the map. It's very, very obvious he was there. And so, with you hovering top side, it was very, very easy and very susceptible to that gank. The issue is for Yone, melee versus range, firstly, in the mid lane. He's kept it kind of close because you can kind of sustain with the W through the damage and poke the Orianna want to put down on you. And then you use your Q, and it's very intricate how the mid lane matchup goes. And Yone can do okay into an Orianna because you're able to sustain through her damage quite easily, especially when you've gone Door and Shield. But when you're, I think you misplay it when you reach level 3. You know that jungle full clears top side. Chances are he's going to be pathing down to you, so you should probably play a little bit safer, knowing full well your jungle nowhere near you. But hey, he's forced to burn his TP as we watch the gank again. Yeah, it's fairly obvious. His W was just used as well, so he's got no shield and safety. Once he uses a Q, it's kind of the go signal because it minimizes damage as well. Orianna gets the kill, so Nuke are going to have a little extra gold. Probably the right person to pick that one up as well. Looking at Maokai, ready for his first back. It's Dark Seal, first pickup for Ori. This is a good buy. I'm kind of expecting Maokai to go more tanky. So like Imperial Mandate maybe picked up alongside Jack Shao or Everfrost? Evermore? Whatever it's called. Evershroud, that's one. Something a bit more tankier. Frozen Iceborne Gauntlet is also a good option. But I expect it not to be a damage AP Maokai, and more so the tank build. Anyway, here we see, this is how Yone kind of deals with the Orianna. He takes aggressive trades. uses a W to negate some of the damage that the Ori wants to put down, and then Qs his way through the wave. It's a pretty standard combination, and it gives him control of the lane comparative to how the Maokai and the Orianna have got themselves a kill off of him. They're still not able to pressure the wave as aggressive as they want to. Now, big thing to note here is the roam timers support taking their first back, and interestingly enough, who he got out onto the map first. Big thing to note was the fact that he's just got a cheeky little ward over on that red side. Means that it allows River to step forward into here to go take away the Scuttle Crab, because he knows Maokai isn't pathing back through that avenue to the river. And what it also means is, essentially, when it comes to a Drake fight, there's a TP ward, if it's a normal ward, obviously, not a control ward. And B, it also means that, essentially, it's a control ward, so never mind, there's no flank ward. But essentially, it does give an avenue of an attack for BDS, because they can control and see who is making their way to this Drake, and hopefully keeping control of the area. Now, what's happening right now is Drake is up. BDS have pressured in the bot wave, got that pushed in, as Yone looking to go aggressive, uses the Soul Unbound, goes back, uses the ultimate, pulls the Maokai under tower, and he gets away with his life, though he does burn his ulti for it. Now he's susceptible to the Orianna shockwave, and the auto is going to do a lot of damage. They build up more and more as the more they land. Now Talia is in a bad situation, forced to flash, went way too aggressive, and BDS get themselves a second 3 kills. Never mind. Adom flashing over. Trademark Adom roam from the top lane. He does it all the time in EU. We talked about him doing it here. He does it anyway. It's an obvious staple for him. Licorice, honestly, if we see a replay, if there's not pings on that top lane, it's going to be disappointing. But now Adom returns back to lane. Licorice pushed in the minions into the tower, and is just getting immediately bursted out. Force the wall out. The Dominus is procced, dashing through. Adom can't kill him. Not enough damage. His spells were on cooldown. If he got the root, maybe, dash through and then dash back out with a Q, enhanced Q, it probably would have killed. Anyway, we watch this again. Simply put, Sheo roaming in the right place at right time. He's got the River Walker's speed, gets a good lockup and forces Gory to a sticky situation. This is where Gory messes up. He should not have stepped back up to the lane. He's way too greedy. He knows full well Sheo is here. So, why step up? I get that you're losing CS, and Nuke could probably freeze a wave in front of its tower and force you into a worse position. But, like, you have to give this position up regardless, because A, you know Sheo is here. We don't actually see the minimap. That's annoying. It's so annoying. But essentially, at this point, Adom is technically roaming. He has to be. The Orianna shockwave and then the passive autos just kill away health bar. Easy kill. Now Talia's in a bad position. She shouldn't have been there. I get responding to the play, but your mid lane is already chunked out. It's not worth it. Now mid lane is advantageous to BDS. Nuke gets to start to push in the waves. And the issue is, though, for BDS, they've not been able to ascertain any objectives. Rift Herald is now up. Drake has been secured, never mind. They did get that off the back of play. That's good for them. Issue is they're giving over Rift Herald. So it's actually probably going to work out in an even trade due to the fact that Sivir is going to get herself a couple of plates here. And the Herald's going to go over. Maybe not. BDS is stepping forward. Adam is in position. Going to root down the Talia. Lock her up. Kill her with ease. Licorice flashing over the wall to try and get to safety. But Adam's here and he slices away the health bar. It's a double kill to the BDS top laner. And they get themselves Herald to boot. This is a good response from BDS because, let's be honest, they had no right in going for that. They got turret plating in the bot lane. They got themselves a Herald off that. They've got themselves Drake. This is overall winning on all sides of the map for BDS. And it comes off of kind of the mid lane plays. The fact that Gory went way too aggressive as Crowny. He has not much mana. Uses the shield to try and get away. But there comes Weaver's Wall sectioning away Labrov. Crowny is forced to fall as Stixay gets the first kill on the board for the Golden Guardians. I like a response play. That's using the Talia's abilities to their advantage. So we watch this again. I think the most obvious thing to explain this play is vision and control. The fact that BDS did not check, not BDS, Golden Guardians did not check this when you've got one of these and you've got one of these is insanity. You didn't check the back of the pit, which means this play was not telegraphed. So it's a good play from Adam. He gets the stun down onto Talia as he's knocked away with the seismic shove. Sho comes shouting forward, smites. Herald gets movement speed buff. Twisted advances through. Bramble Smash, knocking back Licorice, so he takes extra damage. Now he's just going to die to Adam once his Q comes back up. Bot side, Stixay just knows when to go aggressive. The respawned Talia means that she gets to roam out to the bottom of the map quicker using the passive on the walls. She gets hit, Weaver's Walls, cuts off the escape, and Stixay gets himself a kill. It's a good response, however, they shouldn't really be needing to make responses to keep the game in an even position. It's kind of disappointing, to be honest, as already seeing a 3k gold lead to BDS 10 minutes into the game. Kind of yikes, not gonna lie. Golden Guardians not looking at all that strong right now. They're kind of falling behind all across the board. Jungle probably most even in terms of CS and mid technically. But we haven't really discussed the bot lane with the Sivir. She is a push machine with that Kraken Slayer. And she's got already a massive CSD. Topside, Adam's just chunking tower in front of the Cassante. As mid lane, it's just tower killing crazy from BDS here. Labrov's W gets denied. Isn't going to be chased down any further by Huhi. Obviously wary of the potential collapse that BDS have. And with the fact that Licorice has just burnt teleport to the top side. Adam could have gone back to safety and teleported in. So Golden Guardians have to be very wary of the TP discrepancy on the map. In fact, that's kind of where I probably would expect to see good Bramble Smash out from the Maokai, but it is not enough to keep him alive as Stixay gets a kill. TP is denied by Licorice, keeping Adam in the top half of the map, but in the end it won't really matter as Crowny is on a rampage as Dom solo bolos the Cassante. Renekton doing Renekton things as Nuke is on a killing spree, killing off the Yone. This is just pure and utter domination from the European squad as they take objectives across the map. This is a BDS world we're living in, and that was a massive team fight turnaround. As he jumps onto Shao, and Shao gets caught out. He gets a good Q, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Then it's just a great quickness out from Leblov, hitting the right target, forcing Stixxay to stay around, and just easy kill overall onto the ADC of the Golden Guardians. Flash forward from Nuke then to get the easy kill onto the mid lane. And then top side, you deny the TP, but you give up your own life. The fight was pretty much won, and I get why Licorice did it, because he did not want to allow the game to get too out of hand, but in the end, it's already out of hand, my friend, as you give over another kill to the 4-0 and 0 Renekton. Oh boy. We haven't said how kill hungry these players are for BDS, but the KDAs, they tell a story. Nuke and Adam just dominating this game as a whole. And personally, I think that we have to look at the builds. Goredrinker already picked up for Adam. He's looking to basically sustain in the back lane, dealing with basically everything. And Cassante, perfect target to steal away health. You've obviously also got the Colin Meek. Keep yourself topped up very, very nicely. Now, I did say I'd prefer a more tankier build for Maokai, considering your Orianna. She's fed. She's doing a lot of work. You don't really need that much backup AP. And I guess there's no harm in going for it, but hey, Demonic Embrace, nice little chip damage. Obviously, you do get health in that item as well, so I understand why you go for it if you're a Maokai. Though you are kind of susceptible to a lot of the poke and harass that Golden Guardians have with the Talia and the Kaiser. Now, whether or not you kind of see that poke is a different story, as BDS first is set up on the objective. You've got Lebrov already sweeping out the vision. He's trying to control the area as well. Pops the Scryer's Bloom. This is something that the reason I'm highlighting that is Golden Guardians did not do that when it came to that objective. As Huhi trying to go for a play onto Nuke, who's playing respectful. I'm starting to point out things that clearly are being shown by BDS in comparison to Golden Guardians. And the fact BDS show these things is why we see them in an advantageous position right now. So, with Rift Herald in the back pocket of Shao, he's stepping forward, securing vision with the saplings. I like this. Herald can be immediately dropped to secure the last outer turret if needs be. But they're not going to drop it. Instead, they're going to keep threatening the pressure, using the fact that Maokai is obviously lurking. And it allows then for essentially BDS to go somewhere else, drop Herald if needs be. They basically have this constant looming threat. And with the fact that Maokai can just back whenever needed, it's hard for Golden Guardians to play the map. They need to group up a little bit more just to deal with the BDS threat for now. And BDS playing very smart, pushing their vision line forward as they go for these sorts of plays. Lebrov obviously now gets to go forward due to the Scryer's War being dropped by Nuke. Allows him to see that, hey, there's a control ward here. I can go clear that out. It's very standard League of Legends being shown by BDS, but they're taking the steps in the right direction to control the game at their pace and not really give Golden Guardians an avenue in. And this is something that you can see by that win probability. It's just control. And no one saw that at all. But yeah, you see vision lines being pushed forward by BDS to this top half forces Golden Guardians further back. And top side, Adom may be the target here. Not going to be hit by the bandage toss. Gets to walk out to safety as I'm scratching my head in itchiness. Anyway. Anyway, let's take a look at items coming through. Probably second items on the board in the next few minutes. First item for supports. And let's be honest, when we start to see them items, you definitely have to think that chances are BDS will be looking to fight. You've got Hextech Drake on the map right now. Shell is already securing that. TPs for the top laners if they want to go for it. However, because of how far up BDS are, there's no contest for Golden Guardians. So they sacrifice the Drake. There's no fight. And we now get to wait for Hextech Soul in 5 minutes when we'll probably see game-winning fight or the game-winning fight is around this Baron in a minute. Now, from what I remember, my vague recollection of BDS during playoffs and the regular season, I don't believe they were insta-Baron starters as soon as it spawns. That's more so the G2s of the world. But they do like to get early vision set up, and personally, with how this game has gone, the fact that they're using Rift Herald to force Golden Guardians up to the top half map makes me think that they want to go for a fight around and then go immediately towards this objective. Now, Rift Herald's going to get a crash in onto tier 2. As Seismic Shove forces Adom to go aggressive, tower falls, rooting down the targets. There's a lot of damage put down, but that quickness was amazing. 3 kills to none. Make it a 4. The last man alive is Stixay, and he has no hope in protecting his base. Rift Herald continues to crash forward. Will get another charge onto the Nexus Towers. Will we get a Dancing Herald? Please tell me we get... No, we won't. Never lucky. Almost a Dancing Herald as BDS look to end the game without even getting a Baron. 4-man wipe as Amumi respawns. Not even going to be able to throw out his ultimate once. BDS take game 1 in a very dominant fashion. That last fight, I think you have to credit Labrov heavily. I mean, the chase down from BDS is very good from an advantageous position, but that quickness into Grand Entrance combo, hitting 3, just decimated them. And personally, there was no real response from Gold Guardians from that point on. Let's get to game 2. I'm really looking forward to this one because game 1 was slightly spoiled for me. I kind of saw some of the bits from it. But game 2 is fresh. Ooh. As I get into a nice position, game 2 should be fun. As the fire hits the stage, it's time for the second game of the series. Now, Golden Guardians stay on the blue side. BDS are on red. Renekton banned out this time. Zaya removed. Will we see the Poppy removed by the Golden Guardians in their third ban slot? Jarvan also removed again by BDS. Talia also an option. Orianna an option. And it's going to be the Orianna removed. So Golden Guardians, are they going to ban out the Poppy? Because I think Golden Guardians would be happy to first pick it here in game number 2. throw down the gauntlet, and I think it's a lot of safety, but they are just going to continue to pivot to that Taliyah and basically have control. Now, BDS obviously don't have the option of the Ori anymore, so there is picks here that realistically could come through. I think Ahri into Taliyah is an alright option, but with how game 1 went, picks like the Rakan, the Maokai, maybe even the Poppy could be good here into Golden Guardians. Especially at Taliyah, you can knock her into the wall. I really want to see Poppy. That's my personal pick on this game. Now, with that said, there we go. Wrong way. Hi. With that said, we may not even see it. Ezreal comes through for BDS as their ADC, and I like that overall. You think Sivir was picked up in game 1. You're kind of now forcing an issue with the Ezreal because you've got poke, you've got safety. What more could you want? Meanwhile, on the Golden Guardian side, you go for the Kalista, so you want an aggressive early start in that bot lane, and I think we're probably going to see a bit more jungle attention down there, which was not very prevalent in that game. In fact, what did the junglers do in game number 1? Apart from fight for objectives, like smite stealing, not really much. As BDS, Garen is locked in for Adam into a Cassante. This is an interesting matchup, I guess, is the way to word it. You spin to win, baby, is the easiest way to say it. And obviously, BDS well aware that Gory can be playing the Cassante. Going to be removing the Jax. Get some sort of denying counter picks away, because that technically can be a blind pick. Garen. Alistar removed on Golden Guardian side of Rift. I think that's a surprise ban to me. I think I'd much rather have seen the Rakan ban, because Ezreal Rakan still is a good combination. It's a good pick that Labrov has shown a lot of success on here in game 1. Nautilus removed. It is hinting towards Rakan being the next pick in the 4th slot. I think Golden Guardians need to ban it away, or they ban a mid laner. Ahri technically up. Syndra got some new buffs. I don't know if they're alive on this patch, but there is some options here for BDS. But I definitely think Rakan. Oh, it's still going to be the Syndra. I was guessing that. But Rakan, yeah, it makes the most sense. This seems like the bans from Golden Guardians are counterintuitive for what is necessarily strong. I don't like, as a whole, the Alistar. I would have preferred the Rakan. And in theory, Golden Guardians could lock in Leona here, or Blitzcrank. But who you necessarily locking in as Nico is the pick? It's a weird one. Still flex. I get what Golden Guardians are doing, having many flexes, but it's still... You're putting yourself in such a weird rabbit hole that once that 5th pick comes through, BDS know what they're going against. And it's Bel'Veth jungle, Kalista in the ADC spot. Then you've got Nico, Taliyah, and Cassante. Well, Cassante's going into solo lanes. Taliyah's support, not as prevalent, but so it's more than likely Taliyah mid, Nico support. So, as a whole, BDS just get to lock in their mid laner. Full counter pick available. They don't care about your, what do you call them? flex is they get what they want. They get arguably the stronger of the two drafts, in my opinion. Nico support isn't really a champion, if you think about it. She doesn't really offer too much other than the ulti, and you don't really get the damage in the build that you would get as a full AP mid. So as a whole, this draft for Golden Guardians doesn't scream success. It screams desperation, unfortunately. And I mean, yeah, we all know the result of this series. It happened God knows how many hours ago, but like, the draft here that we've seen so far isn't close. And you know, I don't think what we're expecting versus what we're getting should be the EU versus NA clash. It shouldn't be this dominant, but it is. And it begs the question about NA getting even 3 seeds. They might even be, should we class them as a wildcard region? That's a different question for another day after this series. But on to the rift for game number 2 we go. I'm intrigued by the runes more than anything for these two teams. As Garen top, baby. It's phase rush. So that tells me Adorn wants to go for the aggressive trades and chase you down with the whirlybirds of doom. And that's just my take on things. Glacial Augment also picked up for Labrov here, looking to get engages as well. It's basically a BDS comp that wants to chase you down with all them ruins. It indicates that they're here to chase you down, get picks on side, and do a lot of work. Comparative to how Golden Guardians are drafted, stock standard starts as a whole, and yes, I say Belveth going invade early is a stock standard start, let's be honest. Now, here's the issue for Golden Guardians bot lane start. Callista has been revealed. So, essentially, there's that. As a, just look at how much of a menace River is. So 1 CS secured for Sheo. 2 for him. Belveth just denying creeps. Slowing down this take. Because let's be honest, Belveth, infinite scaling. I think that's important to note. With the attack speed buffs you get, she's very, very strong. And as the game goes on, she's harder to deal with. Now here, Sheo cannot win a level 1 trade with her. It's just the fact, A, you'd be dealing with Conqueror. And B, it's just not easy to deal with a Belveth. That's for sure. She just slices through, kills minions quite quickly. And early levels, the Q just clear is a lot stronger than what Sheo's Maokai can do. Now obviously, we saw in game 1, they warded Raptors, so they know how Sheo starts his jungle path on Maokai. So they know fight him here, they're going to get probably an advantage here for the Belveth. And in fact, insanely, Sheo had 0 CS, even though he secured a few of the little chickens. Maybe that's because they don't count towards CS. Never mind, they do. And Flash immediately burnt from the Maokai. This is great jungling out of River. He's able to know the start of the Maokai. Then he knows, obviously, he's pathed down to the bot side. So why not try and fight for the Wolves? Why not? I'm still stronger. I'm a level up on him. It should be an easy take of the camps. And Sheo is now so falling further and further behind, but he is not going to be able to keep up with River's clear. And the fact that it's an early lead for this Belveth does make you wonder how is the Maokai going to be relevant in this game. Like, obviously, he's got a very powerful ultimate, but Belveth already having more impact on the map needs to be addressed as trading in top side. Dom just going to force a wave in. Hasn't actually got TP. Bit of a difference between game number 1 and 2. It's a Garen with Ignite. As bot side, Flash, that's going to be the E out from the Nico. And it's a big trade. Flash for Flash. Flash and Ignite also from Golden Guardians. That's actually quite big. As no steal for Shao here. And that's why Adam takes Ignite, baby. We're just getting to talk about things so quick, but Adam taking Ignite denies backs. It's also a very powerful tool as Hex Flash comes through. Not gonna land the E from the Nico. Pop Blossom not gonna do too much as a grand entrance forward. That Nico is taken incredibly low as topside. Adam going aggressive. Force of flashes. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade in terms of flashes. But here comes Shao. The Maokai, though, he's so far behind. He's so squishy. And Licorice is just going to execute him off. It's going to be first blood over to the Golden Guardians. As here comes the Talia. Gory picks up the second. 2 kills to none. As Golden Guardians get themselves on the board for this second game. What a big play. Also, Demolish Rock coming through to top lane tier 1. Going to give over a plate to Licorice. But this is a huge play. Once the E ends from the Garen, and the level advantage already there for Licorice. Level 6 goes all out. He has more damage than both the top and jungle combined. Slices through Shao's health bar, who we've said is behind already. Then it's an easy pickings for the Talia, throwing out the rocks. And boom. I'm frozen. BDS falling behind this game comparative to how they did in game number 1. And you have to think, as my webcam refuses to turn back on, I also was on the wrong webcam. Nice. Game number 2, starting out not very similar as Nico. Looking for a cheeky little play. Is going to be spotted once she dashes away as Rakan on the flank. Adam's caught out here. Isn't gonna die, got phase rush to get into safety. Hi me. There we go. Oh! Me reactivating the webcam causes issues with the video. Nice. It's actually going up. Okay, that was actually playing, it just didn't have any footage. Anyway. Golden Guardians. Already sitting within 1k gold lead as Dom caught out. Locked up. Yeah, that is actually part of the footage, peeps. Yeah, this is part of the footage. I apologize for the replay sucking. And there you go. Into Lol Park we go with it. Nice. But essentially, Adam just walking around. Rivers here still knocks him into the air. Q3 from Cassante not going to land. Instead, Garen gets away as mid. Gory chunked out very low. Sand Soldier's doing work as the Emperor's Divide also forces an issue as topside. Licorice full health. Just dominating this Garen early. And that is a big thing look at the CSD in this top lane already. It's huge. Somewhere on the bot side, there's starting to be a bit of a big CSD there. Licorice is going to land the Q3. Forced to dash away, takes a couple of tower shots. Is also going to go out under tower, going aggressive, gets the kill, and also falls. It's a 1-for-1 trade in the top lane. And that's the best you could ask for if you're Adam. Getting a shutdown as well. The issue is no top laners and no TPs for BDS. They can't respond to this Herald play. So Golden Guardians is going to get this one for free. Bear in mind, Void Remora are up and available for this Belveth. As once again we enter LoL Park because the feed sucks. Please don't be like this for the rest of the world. Please. But yeah, that's important to know. Belveth gets the Void Remoras. As we watch this top play again. Adam's just spinning to win. Q silencing Licorice means he's not able to get the full escape. So Cassante dies. And BDS trade kills. Dom very far behind. The only place on the map where BDS have an advantage in the ADC role or bot lane role. Whatever you want to call it. It's only bit of solace that they can find for themselves. As for objectives right now, second Drake is up in a minute's time, minute 10. BDS sitting on the ward. Adam also down here. He's just roaming. Not spending time in the top lane, allowing Licorice to split push on his own. Obviously, he wants to be down here for a Drake fight. Because, let's be honest, he hasn't got TP. He needs to try and stay with his team. Now that he shows himself up here, you best believe that BDS, well, Golden Guardians, probably will start to look to go for this objective. Adom's isolated in the top lane, no way of really making a play for himself. Licorice has constant pressure. In my opinion, it'd be the right opportunity for Golden Guardians to go for the second Drake of the game. Belveth, however, is on a slow clear top side and is actually pathing down now. And Cher is also top side. Golden Guardians, go for the objective in 2 seconds. I think they are, with how they've respawned and headed out onto the map. Obviously, Nico is around here, Talia's here. Belveth is almost certainly here. Labrov trying to play bodyguard as Uhi gets spotted. That's the Sand Soldiers knocking him under tower, and Nuke just gets a solo bolo. He knew from the minute that the minion stepped into the lane that that one was a sussy little minion. God damn it. And easy kill. Let's be honest. That was a freebie. Nuke counts minions, clearly, based off that one. Now, Golden Guardians cannot fight the objective. Have to give that one up. And BDS, they deny us stacking of the Drakes. Issue is, Golden Guardians get to play for this with this Herald in the bot side. Drop down. Plate's gonna go over 2 sticks A. A couple of them, in fact. He also got a few, which is not good. Giving supports gold is a yucky. Especially considering the fact that you get more gold without sharing them. But hey, what do I know? Gory getting jumped on. Nuke going aggressive. Force phase rush out. Already has so much more damage. Asheo forced to smite away the blue buff. Denied that one from being stolen away. Mid lane. It's just nuke being nuke. Already got a CSD slightly. Never mind, that's just been deleted. There's a lot of hex slashing, avoiding hoo-hee. So we watched this minion play. Yeah. As soon as you get swept on the tower and the turret shot lands, hoo-hee's dead. Just an easy kill overall for Nuke, who probably counted the minions in the wave. Because he's probably thinking, I need this amount of gold to reach this. So you know roughly how many minions that is. So you technically are counting minions at the time. And so, yeah, pretty obvious to know that Nico's there. Now, BDS had an advantage. They still do. It's 4k goalie, so they've managed to put a bit more on from what we last saw. But as a whole, it's starting to feel a lot more even. Mid lane, no real advantage between the laners. The big advantage is the jungle and the top lane, because Nuke's fairly even with Gory. River is so far ahead, and so is Licorice, as this Garen's just been bullied. This is where BDS are going to be punished, because there's a TP in the top side where they haven't got one. So Adam has to play with some safety, and whether he does it or not is a different thing, as Sheo once again has to flash. Here's the issue. BDS, the control you had in game 1, not really coming through in game 2. And in fact, you're giving over another Herald here. However, BDS will get to contest. Big issue is gold's very, very stacked. That's going to be the Ren stacks loaded into this Herald. Going to be secured by Golden Guardians. Void Remora also available as the first kill of the fight. Actually is going to be on Licorice. Gets absolutely bursted down. What happened to the Cassante? Insanity. I'm not talking about the former TSM mid laner. That did not look at all like he would have died. I wasn't expecting it. If we don't get a replay in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to have a look back. I hope we get a replay. Please give us a replay. I'm begging you. We're not getting a replay, are we? No. Back we go for a replay. Okay, so Licorice just steps forward. He's isolated. Rakan all out. Yeah. Way too aggressive. I guess it seems like he got bursted out early because he was stepping up. He gave an escape for hoo-hee, I guess. But like, he's still getting collapsed on by Labrov. Just giving it over a kill. Excuse me. I'm very tired, can you tell? But it seemed like a pointless kill to give over. Now I have to go back to where we were. Here we were. So yeah. More kills going over to BDS. Stride Breaker picked up for the Belveth. I'm not saying that's surprising, but isn't really something you see too often. I mean, Rage Blade's a build you see. Cyclic Shove gets dodged there. Could have been bad for the support of BDS there, but is able to avoid it. Gold lead has shrunk slightly. Sheo gets chunked a little bit, and there's a Chemtank streak started up by BDS. They are controlling objectives a lot more in this game. I think it helps having the Callista as a Dom in a bit of a bad situation. Collapsed on from all angles. Licorice is killing the wave off under tower as Stixay being run down. This Garen's going aggressive and is actually going to kill him off with DR. What a trade from Adam. He knew he was dead, so why not go out with a bang? That is actually huge, because you're now denying gold from the bot laner of BDS. Not BDS, Golden Guardians. You weren't able to get involved in the turret kill, and while he's not on the map, BDS just get to pushing top. They get to kind of deal with a mid wave freely uncontested. This is pulling Crowny more and more into the lead. As yeah, great play overall from Adam to get a trade for his life. Huge, in fact, if you think about it. Watching it again, Dom steps forward into Stixay. He's like, okay, I need to kill you. Ignite comes through, it gets cleansed. Flash burnt as well from Stixay. And that looked like about a quarter of his health bar, maybe even slightly more. A third, maybe, he had left as the R comes through. Yeah, that's about a third. Just immediately executed with the... It's insane. The God King does it all. An insane ulti, to say the least. BDS keep themselves in the game of sorts by keeping Stixay down. Ezreal stacking up his Manamune. He's doing work. Trinity Force also complete. This is a power spike for Crowny as, oh, the Emperor's Divide is dodged out on, but Nuke, fancy footwork, is avoiding a lot of it, but he inevitably gets chased down. A kill goes over to Gory, and the Void Remora gets kill on that turret. Licorice chasing down this Rakan somehow is going to blast code away to safety. This game getting back out of hand. Sitting at a 3k gold lead still. Golden Guardians doing work. They're trying to get themselves an advantage. Making plays. Something they didn't really do in game number 1. They were kind of subdued in how they wanted to play. But BDS, they've got avenues back in. Let's not forget. They have got places that they can play. Getting into team fights, if Dom can just get onto the back line, if who he dies immediately, Stixay's peel goes out the window. There's not really anything that can kind of keep a Dom off him. Because if Licorice or River step back to protect the ADC, then they put at risk Gory. They put at risk the dive from Labrov. They basically are in a bad situation when it comes to fights because we know the power that Adam's Garen has. So the other issue is going to be Crowny. He's getting to a point where he's very powerful. Once that Manamune is fully stacked, which, let me remind you, oh, yikes, Belveth forces the quickness out. But let's be honest, Crowny is at a very powerful point where he's very close to getting a fully stacked Manamune. He's constantly throwing out Qs. This bottom half, Adam, looking to go aggressive onto Licorice. Whirly burning through a chunk of the health bar. Fairly even trade overall. And Dom is at a bit of a better point in this game now compared to what he was about 10-20 minutes ago. Being bullied early on is the story of this game for him. This Belveth kind of forced him into a bad situation. And Golden Guardians, how are they going to use this advantage? Because River's been in a strong point for a while. They've been slowly but surely obtaining objectives. They've given over only one in this game to BDS, and it was an Ocean Drake. Soul Point is in literally 3 seconds. BDS are nowhere near it. In fact, River's the only one down here. You've got Licorice already pushing the bot side and map forward. The bottom vision for Golden Guardians. This bot lane tier 2 is being threatened. This should be an easy soul point for Golden Guardians. Now, obviously, while BDS aren't going to contest that, they are going to set up vision for this Baron. And Golden Guardians know it. They use a blue ward to check it, and they know they're not doing it. Simple as. So, Lebrov actually getting chunked out quite low. Forced to dash away. Battle dance to safety, as some will say. But basically, BDS kind of now in a situation where they have to think, what do we do now? What can we do now? Well, firstly, they need to look for an objective. This Baron is the biggest target. Get this, then it's a bit more controlled. They can look to put pressure on the map. Look for these tier 2s, the mid lane tier 1. Get themselves some pressure on the map. But the issue is, Licorice is now in a constant split push phase. He's able to keep Nuke in spot lane because, spoiler alert, Adam doesn't have TP. And Nuke's the only one who does. So you're kind of in a situation where you're like, okay, Adam, you're going to have to stay topside and try and contest this Baron with the rest of the team. And Zir can go for a TP players who he disguises himself as some honey fruit. Pretty sneaky. Actually, that's the Baron start for Golden Guardians. Who he's in a bit of a situation where he could look for a cheeky little Pop Blossom. Isn't, however, going to be able to. And it's purely because Sheho is very good with the saplings. Looking in the areas he needs to, I just realized the counterplay Nico has to Maokai. With the clone, you can use it to send that forward to clear out saplings. Very, very cute. But mid lane, Lebrov going a bit aggressive, forcing back River. And BDS gain control of this River. So weird saying River twice, considering he's the jungler for Golden Guardians. Hi, I should probably put myself on camera. Hehe. Yeah, I'm trying to balance myself. There we go. So, BDS, now that the Skullcrab has fallen, they're actually going to start this one up for themselves. The Baron is started. The Dom is in a flank. Licorice stepping forward first. Weaver's wall thrown out. That's going to section Golden Guard, BDS. It's going to be actually a trade of ultimates as on the bottom half of the map. That's going to be gory. Forcing the flash out from a Dom. Baron's going to be secured by Golden BDS. And that's going to be 2 kills, possibly over to the Golden Guardians. It's actually going to be to BDS as Crowny, he's going aggressive. He is untouched. The Mystic shots can fire through, and that is just a huge ace for the BDS squad. They get Baron, they get the kills, and they get themselves this map. What a play. Simply put, that was a clean fight. You burn out the Talia's ultimate. You burn a lot of the abilities and skills that Golden Guardians have, and you get to fight them on an even playing field. Just look at Adam. He's playing smart. He's spotted here. So Huhi and Stixay tried to keep him away. Weaver's Wall forces Show into a situation that's quite bad. Excuse me. Show's in a bad situation because he's isolated in the pit. Licorice can't really do anything because Nature's Grass thrown out. Show plays it defensive. He doesn't want people jumping on him and killing him. Simple as, if the jungler dies on BDS's side, no one can smite for BDS. He plays it smart. He keeps himself safe. He knows this Weaver's Wall is going to fall soon. Now, Nature's Grass comes through. Huhi isn't able to tank it. In fact, I don't think Nico clones can tank it anymore. Maybe a new thing. But Adam, he's in a situation here, trading into Gory and Stixay. And it's like, here he gets pushed back, and that's like, okay, well, I'm pretty much dead if I stay here. So, immediate flash, because them Ren stacks land and do a lot of work. Show now is in the back of the pit. And where's the Rivers here? So they're both here. It's a 50-50. Show wins it. That's huge, because that doesn't give a ulti spot for Belveth. Top half of the play, Huhi gets swept away as he pop blossoms, and just is killed. It's simple as. So it's actually a big trade. It's jungler for support. So no more Nico, no more Maokai. But Maokai done his job. He's used his ult. He's got pressured down. He's probably used his full set of spells. So's Nico probably. But I think Nico's spells are more impactful than Maokai's in a team fight. If Eerie, they're probably up a lot quicker. Now Crowny is in a situation where he's trading into River. As Labrov, he's just running through Golden Guardians. He's done his job, he's charmed up the right targets, he gets onto Stixay, and dances back to Adam, who is healed up a little bit more. Labrov's gonna die to a Rend if he's in range. But Adam denies it. He Q's the Callista. Ulta. We already know what happens when Callista 1v1s Garen. It's easy kill for the jungler. Not jungler. The Diggy. You know who it is. The top laner. There we go. All out comes through for Licorice. It's basically him dead. Brob's still alive because Ren stacks were pulled out. He gets a dash forward, he'll tank a turret shot, and easy kills. In fact, he probably ignites because he gets a kill in the end. Good play from BDS. Simple as. They split the damage dealers on Golden Guardian side of Rift, and their damage dealers stayed together and just pumped out the damage correctly. Good work overall from BDS in teamfighting. Golden Guardians haven't really looked good in teamfights that they've had. Dom now is in a situation where he gets to be a bit silly goofy. Stepping forward into Stixay, takes a chunk of damage. Now this is the funny bit. Because Adam hadn't got TP, BDS can only play on 2 lanes. There's no way they can play top. So you've got Nuke in the bot lane pushing, with Sheo backing him up. Crowny, Labrov, and Adam in the top lane. Nuke getting jumped on by Licorice isn't a terrible thing. It's just, wow, they really messed with the feed, didn't they? What is going on? Yeah, who cares? I actually care a lot. That's going to be soul secured for Golden Guardians, but River sacrificed off for his play. Why couldn't they get the feed any better? Jeez. This isn't just me, right? This is the actual feed. Yeah, this is the actual feed just breaking. #career. I'm pretty sure this was done with the EU broadcast over into the EU studio. Like, damn, this is so bad. Anyway, I can't really break down that team fight because it just was a jitterbug. Anyway, Drake is secured by River. He's forced to stay here because, of course he is. He sacks his life for an objective. Now, Licorice somehow went into the pit for some reason, as Adorm just was trying to run down to Callista. Bear in mind, if he isn't able to get on top of you, it's an easy kill for the Callista. But, yeah. Apart from that, BDS back in control of things. They've gotten themselves a 2k gold lead off the back of the Baron. And with Soul, don't get me wrong, Golden Guardians have an advantage for the rest of the game. But gold means wins, basically. It means more items, it means more control, it means more damage, it means everything in League. So with the fact that BDS have that, they're able to ascertain more control for themselves. The issue I keep pointing out is they only have one TP. So Nuke is being stretched across the map, honestly, and it's kind of punishing them because Adom, don't get me wrong, he's a killing machine. It's still a situation where BDS can't really mount map pressure as effectively as they want to. And comparative to Golden Guardians, they've got double TPs. Mid can play in the map, so can top. Licorice has been doing it pretty much all game, just sitting in bot lane on his own, forcing pressure as objective slot, like this Baron in 40 seconds. So BDS kind of have to group up at him. He'll catch his top wave right now, and then he'll probably rejoin up with his team for the Baron that's ensuing soon. BDS are trying to step up into the river once the mid wave's pushed in, trying to get themselves some pressure as the Weaver's Wall does work, but it's not enough to keep Nuke from walking back to safety. Licorice unable to get in onto the backline as the True Shot Barrage is fired out. BDS trying to get aggressive. Adom on the side. It's going to be a full 5v5 if a fight is going to ensue. Already Huhi taken down to a half HP. And more damage coming through from these saplings. The Mystic shots being fired out. Crowny is just an absolute menace controlling this area of the map. BDS stepping towards this Baron as Adom looking to be a nuisance, keeping Stixate in the mid lane. Baron taken below a half HP as Lebrov coming in on the side. He sees River, locks him into the air, and that's going to be Baron over to BDS. River taken low, chunked out, burnt down as Crowny gets the first kill of the fight. Nuke chasing Licorice as that's going to be a flash twisted advance forward. Huhi is bound to die. Licorice coming through from side, goes all out, pulls Sheo to him. It's going to be a bad situation as this Maokai is just able to buy some time for the rest of his team. Seismic Shove's going to keep BDS away, and it's in fact going to be a shutdown over to Licorice. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of BDS, who have this Baron. They're looking to end this game. Onto this inhibitor they go, pushing this wave into mid lane. As flash forward comes this Garen, taking almost all the health bar of the Callista. There's a great knock up into the air by the Rakan. Denies any sort of play Gory wants to go for. That Emperor's Divide kills the game. Golden Guardians pick this one up and head to match point. simply put, Golden Guardians through this game, I think is the best way to put it. Got a bit too greedy around objectives. But I also think that BDS played well. Trading, I mean, they got themselves a 50-50 Baron steal, which is huge. Especially against Callista and a Smite. It's a huge play. Wow, we actually get a full thing. We're going to look at this series as a whole and Game 3 on GOL. Because I don't have time to look at a third game today. Oh boy. Oh, 30 minutes. 12 kills, 1 kill. I think this looks like a stomp, boys. And I wish I was breaking it down because that Garen... We saw glimpses of his strength in Game 2. Like 5 kills. What was his final KDA? 5 kills. Yeah, 5 kills, 4 deaths. Still positive. 5 kills, 0 deaths. 300 CS basically. 50 CS up on Licorice. Jax. Ugh. So this game, Golden Guardians went to red side. 0 objective control, -1 Rift Herald. Basically a trade of objectives. Early first blood. I presume it was a Dom solo boloing. The fact that top damage is gold distribution is huge. Top damage also is insane. And the reason I think that's insane is because it's Jax into Garen. Jax is built to do damage. Now, this one I've seen clips from. Believe it or not, I've seen the Garen outplayed by... yeah. Also shows Sedge. Comfort Pick 101. They've given him one of his favourite picks. Not very hard to see why this game went so late. Jesus. Turret plating galore for the bot side. By either side. Actually, wait, no. A lot of top plating and a lot of bot plating. It's 3 plates for 3 plates, but I'm presuming that's a Rift Herald plating drop there. This looks like... I mean, we know that they get 1 kill and it sticks A onto Rakan. Rest of it is just like, yikes. Jeez, I'm gonna try and find it. Where is... We'll watch the last fight of the game, I guess. What is the last... There's no real last fight. I guess this is it, 18 minutes in. Looks like the most stompy fight. But basically, this game was over quite quickly. Oh. A little bit further back. Here we go. It's 18 minutes, right? The fight. 19. Okay. So we'll watch a couple minutes. Yikers. That was the only kill they got. It was a misplay. It looks like. The BDS is constantly pressuring the map. The Orianna doing work. Ivan fell off, by the way, on it before this patch, so he isn't as strong. So there's that. Labrov on the flank. Okay, we'll just speed it up a little bit. So, BDS are on this Drake. Soul point if they get it. No real contesting positions out from Golden Guardians. And secured. Topside, a Dom doing spinny things. He just gets clear waves freely. This game he isn't any like being threatened at all. Jax just has very little damage. Divine Sunder, a bit of a surprise. Would have maybe thought go Trinity Force. Pretty sure I would recommend Trinity Force in the actual Professor forum. Also, I don't even know what patch worlds this series was played on. That's just... What? How? How do you get hit by that? Oh, I know what's coming. But why is Licorice that far forward? Don't make much sense. The only advantage that Golden Guardians have is on Stixay because he's the only one with a kill. Yikes. So yeah. He just jumps way too far forward. He probably expected Nuke to back, but like, that was dumb. I'm not gonna lie, that should not have ever happened. I was playing with zero safety. I like how Xiao is just flashing the emote constantly. I actually haven't looked at the emotes for this World Championship. There's not really that appeal to me. As once again, Licorice goes aggressive onto Nuke. But here comes Adam. Spinning to win. That's such a great quickness as well. That just peels for his mid laner. And that's an easy double kill. BDS just responding to the plays a lot more effective. Oh, Labrov. Also, why was he allowed Rakan for a second game in a row? A third game in a row? Like, surely after two very good games from Labrov's Rakan, you would ban it. Like, it doesn't make sense for him to have it for a third game. Because this would not have happened if you'd banned it. Like, so Nuke gets a movement speed from his W. Gets back to safety of where Adam is. Licorice force flash out. And as Gory goes aggressive to try and kill off Nuke, who is in a bad situation, Labrov's collapsed in. Dumb work. Feathers... Oh, there's such a good flash out from Crowny there. That's just clean. It's so good from BDS. Like, don't get me wrong, they're way too far ahead. But, like, that's just dumb that they're able to do that. Unpunished. And so now, game's over. Let's be honest, because they'll go to Cloud Drake in a minute. Get that soul. And then just continue to push our advantage. It's a situation that is uncontestable because they've got such good frontline in the Sedge that Golden Guardians can't step up, especially with the Jax. Like, you're going to be having to jump through a Sejuani if you want to get onto the backline. And even then, you've got so much more peel on BDS's side, like we saw in the bot lane, that Golden Guardians can't do anything in this stage of the game. So they're just going to be constantly bleeding out. Because look, they've got Soul. They've not given up the pressure on the map. They've got Adam just split pushing in. Licorice can't really do anything to him. I'm sure he can chunk him out, but he goes back, heals up with his passive, while the rest of his team just continue to push in. Look, he's just back up above half HP, just walks forward, does Garen thing, and then backs away. He don't even need to go aggressive. He just steps forward. It's just such a difficult position if you're going Guardians. You're quite far behind. And with Cloud Soul, the extra movement speed that BDS have to get between lanes, it's just dirty. Especially with the movement speed abilities that these champions have. It's just hard to deal with. Mistime Q there. Unfortunate. Also, I like Orianna into Ivan, because you can just throw the your Q, the command Dissonance, I believe it is, into brushes, and you see what's happening in the brush for the rest of its life if you just keep your Q there, or your orb there. It's just, I keep saying it's just today, I've noticed, and essentially it is very difficult for Ivan to play the game, as I thought Adam was going to go aggressive there, and I think the observers were, because they've come accustomed to how he's been playing. He gets 2 more kills this game that we know of, and with the game time up in 3 minutes, we might as well just continue to watch it. I'm enjoying this because it's just a dominant position. Oh, Licorice. You're forced to dance. To go aggressive, Stride Breaker. It's a 2v1, and he just phase rushes to safety straight into Huhi. He just stunned him once. Ward spotted. Waves cleared. This game, if you can't get a pick on side, game's over. And I think with how Golden Guardians should be setting up, they need to somehow push forward and get vision. Like, you've got one deep ward here, so realistically you want to be making a play on the bottom half of the map. However, you're going into a Dom who's just being aggressive, and watch this, he's going to go over this wall, flash. He's got so much movement speed, forcing all the summoners out from Stixay. Flash on Garen for all of the ADC spells is just huge. Now BDS, 6 seconds till Baron turn to it. Stixay can't get close. And they're already set up for it. They can 2-man this quite easily. This game is well and truly over. It's probably been over for the last 10 minutes. But the fact is, how BDS have got to this point needs to be attributed to that Sejuani and Rakan. Like, the KDA of Lebrov probably sucks, but he's still done enough work to keep his team in a strong position as... Uh-oh. Who's got the better spinny? I'm thinking it's Garen. Anyway, taking a look at items quickly. Oh no, never mind. Q, silence, Stride Breaker, locks him down, and that's just the execute from the ult. We already said it did a lot in game number 2 with how much it did to the Callista. But, good night, Licorice. BDS are on a warpath to make it to Worlds. They destroyed your top laner. They're destroying your support. Leona falls. Never mind. She's not even going to fall. Instead, it's the inhibitors and the Nexus towers in the sights of BDS. Nexus tower 1 falls. Quickness lands. They're locking down Stixay. He's unable to run. He will burn as Adam becomes unstoppable. Crownie gets himself a kill. And that is game number 3 in the bag for BDS. Winning the series and advancing to Worlds. EU better than NA. Simple as that. A dominant series overall. That's that. that's today's stream over and done with. Best of threes now for the next few days. We see BDS very soon as they face Team Wales. I guess we predict that now. I think I've got to go BDS 3-0. But not 2-0. That's my prediction. And with that, thanks for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new if you want to. And I'll see you guys, I believe, tomorrow. Peace out.